Erasing the Past by Emma Cliffe. If there's one thing that society has taught me, it's that everything has a price. Surrogacy is just a way of buying life. Bounties place value on someone's death. Crimes can be swept under the rug if you wave a wallet at the right people, and both silence and secrets can be purchased like bread in a bakery if you're willing to pay enough. Everything has a price. That's the hard truth that some people don't like to hear. That's why when the woman in my bed mumbles, "Where are you going?" To sell last night is what I don't say. I just remembered I have something I need to do this morning. I lie as I pull a white t-shirt on. I left some toast for you in the kitchen. There's butter and jam in the fridge. Peanut butter in the cupboard too, if you're not allergic. Your phone and bag are by the door where you left them last night. Text me when you get home. Big brown eyes burn with disappointment as she blinks at me. She thought I was better than this. That's on her. I grab my keys and wallet as I leave the flat. The front door slams shut, magnifying the guilt that suddenly explodes inside my chest. When did I become such an asshole? Since I realized that decency doesn't buy rent, I guess. Curling my hands into fists, I set off into the labyrinth of high-rises and depressed apartment blocks called Crystalia. Crystalia, the city of a million heartbeats, half of them under the long shadows of skyscrapers and factories, thumping with starvation, stress, and disease. They say Crystalia was one of the few cities to survive the technological wars. I say the word survive is a stretch. I walk down roads defaced by graffiti. You can't erase the past, one declares. I think about what I'm about to do and bitterly taste the lie. Junkies huddled dejectedly against the sides of buildings. People have sold every single happy memory they've ever had to get money for drugs and food. And it shows, from the vacant look in their eyes to the listless way they sit as if they have no purpose, nothing to look forward to. I sympathize. Every time I sell something happy at the memory exchange, I promise myself that this is the last time. The next time I'm happy, I'll keep the moment. I'll savor it like a bite of birthday cake. I'll hold it close and never let it go. I know myself well enough now, though, to know that I'll always break that promise. I'll be back, just like these junkies. No doubt about it. Even though they don't have anything to sell right now, they'll be back. The moment someone takes pity on them and throws them a coin. The moment their eyes light up with the joy at the humanity of a passing stranger, they'll be off to sell that moment. I pull my eyes away from them angrily. Why do I feel like I'm looking in a mirror? I'm not like them. I'm only doing this because I have rent to pay, I tell myself. I despise how the words ring hollow, as if my subconscious mind can already envision a future slumped against that wall, regardless of how much I try to convince myself otherwise. Try to pretend that I'll find a job soon, so that I don't have to carry on doing this. This is the last time. I swear. I turn right down a road. It's early enough in the day that I've beaten the queues, but I can already see that the memory exchange is crowded. The memory exchange. A large white building with that cold, detached, hospital-esque air to it, with multiple stories layered on top of it like the cake you'd make for a funeral. In a modern style that some unscrupulous architect must have had great fun in designing. It's still dwarfed by the bleak apartment blocks that surround it, cowered in their shadows, just like the rest of us. It looks unnervingly plain for what it is, a place where memories are extracted and analyzed and valued. A place where the experiences that form a person's personality and outlook are taken from them. A place where people willingly go to be unmade. I swallow hard. Since the founding of Memory, the company that now oversees thousands of memory exchanges across the country, the class divide in society that underpins everything has increased exponentially. The poor sink deeper into despair and debts that can never be paid, whereas the rich people can now, quite literally, buy happiness. Depressed because of a miscarriage? Just buy someone else's memory of holding their newborn for the first time. Has your wife just left you? Well, now you can relive someone else's wedding and pretend it's your own. Unnatural yellow light fills the pale dawn from the bright neon sign on the side of the building. Exchange your past for your future. Like a moth drawn to the flame, I enter through the black double doors. A bell rings to mark my entrance. and the faces of half a dozen people glance at me. One or two people in coats that are a size or two too big, hanging off their thin shoulders, clearly here to sell, and a few more well-dressed folk with disdain and pity ghosting their expressions, who are here to buy. I grit my teeth and refuse to let the unfairness of it all get to me as I approach the front desk. I know Frank well, a perpetually cheerful, middle-aged man with graying hair and bright blue eyes. He greets me like an old friend. "Icarus, it's good to see you. How can I help you today?" "One night stand," I mumble. "Got it." His smile doesn't falter. "I hope it was a good one." "Yeah," I rub my tired eyes. The happier the memory, the more it's worth. Drug highs, however, aren't worth anything. The artificial high of psychedelics can't be relived in a memory. Frank looks around, then furtively leans across the desk and whispers to me. "Between you and me, I've heard they're relaxing the laws on what we're legally allowed to extract. We might not be limited to happy memories for much longer." "What do you mean?" I lean forward too, curiosity sharpening my thoughts. Frank shrugs. "Look, mate, I'm just repeating what I heard, and what I've heard is that there's a lot of clients looking for sad memories to suppress their appetites and lose weight, or angry memories to fire themselves up before a run, stuff like that. They've been lobbying the government to relax the restrictions on memory extraction." "Right." I bite my lip as the implications make its way through my brain like a worm burrowing slowly through the soil. Not just happy memories. Instead of forgetting all of the weddings I've ever attended, I might soon be able to forget the funerals, the mental breakdowns, the late-night grocery runs as my hunger tears ravenously at my insides. But if you can take all of that, then what would be left? I squeeze my eyes shut and try to imagine, but I can't. I think of the junkies who have sold every last bit of happiness, scouring through their pasts for joy like dogs trying to find the last scrap of meat on a bone whenever they need to buy necessities, and try to imagine how much worse of a state they'd be in if they didn't just lack happiness, but also anger, sadness, determination, motivation, all of it. I imagine a hollow husk of a human being. I blink and meet Frank's eye. "Anyway, about my memory." "Right, of course," Frank beams. "Take a seat. Someone will be with you shortly." 20 gold coins. It's little more than an offering that you'd make to a beggar, but it's enough to make up the shortfall in my rent. My phone buzzes as the transfer completes. As I leave the building, I check my account just to make sure that I've been paid the right amount and notice that I've been sent a new message. Home. Right. It's the woman from earlier. My eyebrows furrow as I try unsuccessfully to visualize her face. Damn it. I can't even remember what color her eyes were. That ball of guilt is back again. It bounces around inside my chest so painfully that I hold a hand against it and I wonder if I'm having a heart attack. It fades after a few seconds though, and I lean against the walls of the closest apartment block as I catch my breath. In, out, repeat, in, out, repeat. My phone rings. I answered on autopilot, clammy, trembling fingers gripping the device tightly as I hold it up to my ear. "Hey, who's this?" "Icarus? It's Rhea, your sister." I exhale sharply. I hardly recognize her voice. It's shaking like a leaf, and teardrops dance between the syllables. She's a beat away from ugly crying, and that makes me terrified. Rhea's always been the composed child, the one who has everything together. "What's wrong?" I venture. It's Mum. She was in a car accident. The hospital just called me. Icarus, I'm so sorry. She didn't make it." My world collapses around me. I hang up and stare at the empty phone screen, sloughing my composure like a snake sheds its dead skin. I fall to my knees, which hit the cold floor, hard concrete with a painful thud, blind to the world, blind to physical pain, blind to everything except the storm of grief raging inside my skull. Waves of it crash over me, and I'm drowning in grief that floods my senses and fills my lungs, and I can't breathe. The one person who never saw me as a failure or a waste of space, gone. I don't know how long I stay there, curled up against the wall, blind to the world. Time has no meaning in my pain. Seconds trickle by, grains of sand in an hourglass somewhere. In, out, repeat. In, out, repeat. I'm trying just to breathe when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I look up and I see Frank's face through a haze of tears. "What?" I mumble. "What's wrong?" he asks, his face arranged in a masterful impression of sympathy. "My mom's been killed." I'm unable to hold back the harsh, guttural sobs that burst out like gunfire between words. Frank opens his mouth as if to say something, then shuts it again. He looks uncomfortable, his cheerful salesman persona unprepared to deal with me in this state. "What is it?" I demand. "I thought you should know. I just got a notification from the head office. We're officially permitted to buy sad memories now, which I suppose means we can take your pain away right now, and you'll even get paid for it," says Frank. He holds his hand out to me, a nervous smile filling his expression, playing the savior of the hour. Resentment, confusion, and hope flicker and burn beneath the overpowering smoke of grief in the bonfire of my emotions. I think of the pain that I'm feeling and how badly I want it to stop. I think of the junkies I saw on the way here. I think of how I envision them in the future. I think of the hollow husk like human beings in my imagination, and I think about how I promised myself that this was the last time. It's always the last time, until it hurts so badly that it's not. I know deep down this is wrong. Grief, just like pride and happiness, shape human beings, their actions and their thoughts. You can't and you shouldn't run away from it. Watch me. I take Frank's hand. Everything has a price.